Well, it's a wonderful morning here in San Diego, California, USA. And this is an exciting time to be an officer of Rotary International. And Rotary, I suggest, will give you no bigger job, no bigger challenge, no bigger opportunity, and no bigger responsibility than to serve as a district governor of our organization. A number of years ago, a former president of the United States, Herbert Hoover, made a speech, and I quote, "Among the delusions offered us by fuzzy-minded people is that imaginary creature, the common man. It is dinned into us that this is the century of the common man. The uncommon man is to be whittled down to size. It is a negation of individual dignity and a slogan of mediocrity and uniformity. But the greatest strides of human progress have come from uncommon men and uncommon women. The humor of it is that when we get sick, we want an uncommon doctor. If we have to go to war," he said, "we look for the uncommon general." And we could add to President Hoover's remarks, if we have a child in school, we seek the uncommon teacher. If we are running a business, we need the uncommon manager, the uncommon salesman, the uncommon engineer. And never before in all of Rotary's history has there been such a demand for uncommon leadership in our organization. I've read many definitions of leadership over the years and have studied many of them in great detail. But of all of them, I think this is the best. A leader is someone who influences someone else to a course of action, to do something, to get something done. The leader changes attitudes. The leader produces results. The leader commands influence. The leader moves the bottom line. This is what we expect of business leaders, and this is what we seek in the business of Rotary. Some time ago, there was an interesting cover article in Fortune magazine titled, "Wanted, Corporate Leaders, Mere Managers Need Not Apply." The article went out to point out the differences between real leadership on the one hand and management on the other. And I quote from the article, "Management means maintaining, controlling, directing, supervising, and organizing. With the advent of the small computer, it's becoming more of a science, even in smaller businesses and organizations. Leadership, on the other hand, is visionary, often charismatic, setting an example, and commanding influence. It is an art." To continue the article, management skills seem to be easier to discover in people than leadership skills. Business schools turn out thousands of graduates every year who have had the best management training available, and every year, thousands of businesses are managed into bankruptcy. And the frequently cry in organizations today is for leadership. I end the quote. Another writer puts it this way, "It is the purpose of leadership and a major test of its competence to make effective all the strength and resources of the human beings under its direction. Leadership should be a motivating force, one that motivates the ideals and the visions, the aspirations, and the abilities of the people under your direction." May I suggest this morning 3 characteristics essential to the uncommon leader. First, a conviction that what we are doing here today is important. Second, a vision about the potential for the clubs in your district. And third, a commitment, an overriding commitment to get the job done. First, we need to have a conviction that the business of Rotary is the most important business any of us will ever engage in our lifetimes. Now, I know it's important, of course, to be successful in one's profession or occupation. But no matter how much money we make, how many college degrees hang on our walls, how much acclaim we receive from our peers, how famous we may become, no success can ever compensate for failure in the business of humanity, the business of mankind, the business which engages us here today. It is the only business we will take with us when we leave this life. And you are the officer in charge of this business next year. Second, what is the vision, your vision for achievement in your district next year? Rotary today is the most powerful, prestigious service organization the world has ever known. Nearly 35,000 clubs in well over 200 countries and geographical regions of the world. Men and women of every race, every color, creed, religion, politics, culture, language, profession, and vocation. And every second of the day, we make the lame to walk, the blind to see, the deaf to hear. We clothe the naked, we feed the hungry, we heal the sick, we save lives, we bring hope, we bring peace, we do God's work on earth. This is the organization which brings us here today, a vast, private United Nations of the world's most prominent, ethical, and competent leaders. The average Rotary Club is made up of very unaverage people. They are usually of above-average intelligence, competence, income, education, and achievement. They are successful people, or they wouldn't be in Rotary for the most part. They are executives, professionals, managers, owners, and goal setters in their business and professional, personal lives. And yet somehow, when we bring these highly competent, successful, goal-oriented people to the Rotary Club meeting on Tuesday at noon, we deal with them as if they were in the second grade. We set goals with regard to membership, district conference attendance, and foundation giving that are far below what we should expect and far below what we do, each of us, in our personal business lives. In fact, if we paid as little attention to attaining our business goals as we do our Rotary goals, our businesses would probably go bankrupt. And sadly, many Rotary clubs today are bankrupt in the business of Rotary service. So what is your vision next year for the Rotary Foundation? For membership, growth, for attendance at your district conference? May I suggest the Uncommon Leader implements a four-step process. First, the development of a clear, specific goal, written, announced goal. Second, the development of a business plan to reach that goal. Third, the implementation of the business plan, actually getting the job done week by week during your year. And fourth, the recognition of those Rotarians who produce the results, because that is our reward in Rotary. I submit there is no greater assignment which will come to you as an officer of Rotary International than that of building and strengthening membership in our clubs. It is the most demanding leadership challenge facing an officer of Rotary International today. From time to time, friends and business acquaintances ask me the question, Rick, why are you in Rotary? Why do you spend so much time in that organization? And one night at home, I sat down in my den at my desk, and I came up with 20 answers to the questions, why should anyone become a Rotarian? Why should anyone join Rotary? A detailed analysis is available here at the Assembly, but may I now give you a summation of those 20 answers. Why join Rotary? First, friendship. Second, business development. Third, personal growth and development. Fourth, leadership development. Fifth, citizenship in the community. Sixth, a continuing education every week. 7, fun. 8, the development of public speaking skills. 9, citizenship in the world. 10, assistance when traveling. 11, entertainment. 12, the development of social skills. 13, family programs. 14, the development of vocational skills. 15, the development of ethics. 16, cultural awareness. 17, prestige. 18, an association with very nice people. 19, the absence of a secret official creed, making everyone welcome. And 20, and this is the only one that isn't self-serving, the opportunity to serve others. In other words, my friends, while it is certainly true that Rotary changes the lives of the people we serve, it changes even more our own lives, the lives of each of us here, the lives of each of us privileged to be a Rotarian. In my judgment, looking at these 20 benefits, the business and few business and professional people can afford not to join Rotary, but we must touch them and ask them. Over the past few years, I've attended many seminars relating to membership growth. They are often well-intended. They often have good speakers. They almost always relate statistics and talk about the problem. They are well-intentioned. But more often than not, there is no action plan developed, no decision and no plan to do something about the problem. There is no development of a specific district and club goal, and no plan implemented as how the goal is to be reached. There is an absence of vision. Someone once asked Helen Keller, who was deaf, blind, and unable to speak, "Miss Keller, can you think of anything worse than being blind?" "Oh, yes," she replied, "having sight and no vision." Finally, after a conviction that what we're doing is important, and after a vision about the potential for the Rotarians in your club this coming year, nothing matters as much in uncommon leadership as the characteristic of commitment. Commitment moves things to action. Commitment gets things done. Commitment moves the leader. And what is yours? Who influenced you to be here today? And so, this week, here, at this time and in this place, you begin the journey to uncommon leadership. Conviction, vision, commitment. And when the presidents of your Rotary clubs ask you how in the world you ever got selected, just remember the words of Bishop Fulton J. Sheen. If they're kicking you in the rear, you must be out in front. In the words of a great mentor of mine, past Rotary International President Richard L. Evans, it sometimes seems that we live as if we wondered when life was going to begin. It isn't always clear just what we're looking for, but some of us sometimes persist in waiting so long that life slips by, finding us still waiting for something that has been going on all the time. There's no reason to doubt good intentions, but when in the world are we going to begin to live as if we understood that this is it? This is life. This is our time, our day, our generation, our one chance to do something for somebody else. This is the life in which the work of this life is to be done. This is it. Whether we are thrilled or disappointed, busy or bored, givers or takers, this is life. It's all we've got, and it's passing. What in the world are we waiting for? The second President of the United States, John Adams, summed it up best when he said, "Only two kinds of people ever really count. Those people who make commitments and those people who keep them." Governors of Rotary International, you have made your commitment. Go now and keep it.